Hi, this is Andrea. I'm a youth services librarian at the Hickory Corner branch of the Mercer County Library System. Do you love s'mores? I know I do. They're the quintessential campfire treat, but they're a little bit messy, even though that's part of the fun. But they're a little bit messy, and I don't have easy access to a campfire here. So I'm going to make for you today something called s'mores pops. All the ingredients of s'mores in a portable little lollipop. And you'll see that I have, some samples that I made earlier. This one is undressed because we're probably gonna eat it after the video. And my daughter helped me make these. And then this one I put in its own little plastic wrapper and tied a little bow because I wanted to show you how they make a nice little gift or a favor for a party or something. And you can even stick them in a box like this. You're gonna need something to hold them upright later anyway. So all I did was take a little box, cover it in some aluminum foil, and I poked some holes I had these pointy lollipop sticks. You can also use a compass to poke holes, and that way you can have your lollipops upright and the chocolate will set that way. And if you're doing them at some kind of party or something, you can use this as a way to display them and it looks nice. So again, we're making s'mores. All you need: marshmallows, graham crackers, and here's my chocolate. Already melted because it takes a little time to melt. I've also got some chocolate over here on the stove, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. The other thing you might need, if you want, this is optional. My daughter suggested it, and honestly, it tasted pretty good. Sprinkling a little bit of cinnamon into the graham crackers once they're all crushed up, and then some vegetable oil just to thin out the chocolate. And I'm just gonna show you, when you melt the chocolate, I had chocolate chips. It was just a little bit thick for dipping, so the vegetable oil just makes it nice and smooth, a little shiny, but also nice for dipping. So the first thing you're going to do when you're making the lollipops is to get that chocolate started, because that does take some time. So I have this nifty little gadget called a chocolate pot. I don't often have things in my kitchen that only have one function, but because I do a lot of baking and treat making, this is great. And as you can see, it's on, and it's been on for a while, and I'm not burning myself. So it's really great for kids because they can't burn themselves. So if you don't have one of these, you can take your chocolate, chop it up, or if you have chocolate chips, put it in a heat-proof bowl. You can do it in the microwave. I would say do 20 to 30-second intervals and stir in between because you don't want your chocolate to burn. Another method is to use a double boiler, and that's what I have going on here. I have about 1 inch of water in a sauce pot. I've got a heat-proof bowl on top of that. You do not want the water actually touching the bowl. You just want the steam to rise up and to melt the chocolate chips inside. So I kind of got that started for you here. So you'll see it's actually starting to melt now. And you just want to keep stirring it. And like I said, that steam will come up. You want to make sure you have a tight seal because you don't want any steam seeping out because you don't want to burn yourself either. So that is another method. And then once this has melted down, that's when I would add the vegetable oil to that. I'm actually going to turn that down a little bit. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is get your graham crackers into coarse crumbs. And so I've got my graham crackers here. You're going to want to use some kind of bag. I happen to have these reusable bags, but if you just want to use a regular plastic sandwich bag, that's fine. So you're going to put your graham crackers in and seal it up. I'm going to use a rolling pin, but if you have a rubber mallet, you can do that too. If you don't want to bother with doing it this way, you can certainly chop them up in your food processor. So I am going to move these things out of the way so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, so I'm just going to take my rolling pin and I'm just going to crush them up. And again, this is something fun that the kids can do. My daughter did the first round for me. And you're just going to want to keep going until you've got like a coarse mix of crumbs. And then you're going to want to put them in a shallow baking dish or a pie plate. Okay, so that you'll see that I've got them there. If you still have kind of big bits that are in there that you want them a little bit finer, you can just crush them up with a fork. This is when you can add that sprinkle of cinnamon. A little bit of cinnamon goes a long way, so you don't need a lot. So you can just sprinkle the cinnamon in there. Again, this step is optional. If you don't like cinnamon, you don't have to use it. Then you just take your fork and mix it in. Okay, so we can check on our chocolate here. Give that another stir. Okay, great. So I think we're at the stage now where we can add the vegetable oil. The vegetable oil is already in the chocolate pot one. And I'm just going to pour probably, no more than a little bit more than a tablespoon or two. Again, you're just thinning it out for dipping. And if you have another kind of flavorless oil that you want to use, you can do that too. Coconut oil is another really good option. All right, you see how it made it thinner and it's shiny, and it's going to be great for dipping. Okay, so that's ready to go. So you can use either method. I'm going to stick with my chocolate pot because it's right here. Let me move those marshmallows out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So again, just take marshmallow, lollipop stick. If you don't have lollipop sticks, go ahead and just use popsicle sticks. All right, get it on there so it's nice and secure, should not fall off. Then you're going to want to dip, give it a little bit of a spin. Make sure you get the excess off. I always kind of either shake it or tap it and then twirl it. And then you're just going to dip it right in the crumbs and give it a little roll. And there you have your s'mores pops. Very easy. And then you can take your little holder and you can just put the stick into one of the holes that you made. And that way it has time for the chocolate to set before you wrap them up or put them into some kind of airtight container. But I guarantee you, these will not last long in your house. So I hope you get to try these and I hope you enjoy them. Bye.